Hey, I'm gonna need to ask the sighted community a favor. Like, can y'all please stop with the whole Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles being inspirational syndrome? Because the only thing inspirational about those two are their lyrics. And I think you know what I mean by that. Yeah, they're blind, but that's not what makes them inspirational. Like, the thing about blindness, it's not really the biggest deal in the world. Like, especially like these days, versus if you would have asked, like, if you would have asked somebody that in like the 19th century and earlier. But today, nah, it's not that big a deal. And it probably wouldn't have been a big deal in the 19th century either if we would have had the stuff and the attitudes that we have now. But still, we still have ways to go. For example, this whole Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles thing. Y'all act like y'all ain't never seen a blind person before. Maybe you haven't. But not every blind person is gonna be Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles or me or the next door neighbor or the family member that happens to be blind. Like, it's just a physical disability. A disability is not a personality. It doesn't make you inspirational or a good leader or a good friend or a nothing. It's just a thing you have or a thing that you live with or a thing that you learn to live with if it happens later in life instead of you being born with it. But it's not really all of that. It's not the thing that inspires. It's not something about you that inspires people. You don't use it to do things. You're just blind. You can be blind and a chef, or blind and a singer, and blind and a mother, or blind and, well, you know what I mean. And this whole, they must be, they're so inspiring. Even though they're blind, they're doing this, that, and the third and living their lives. Okay. Again, it's not, blindness is only a slight disability. It's not that big of a deal, especially now these days. People that are blind can live good lives. They can, like, blind chefs, blind singers, blind astronomers, blind almost everything except drivers. Now that one we're still working on, but my point is, it's not something that you should be really making into what you're making it into. Yeah, Stevie Wonder is cool. Yeah, Ray Charles is cool. Yeah, they make good songs, but so do a lot of artists. And if any of these artists were to go blind today, let's say, I don't know, Toni Braxton or somebody. The fact that Toni Braxton would go blind, dude, let's just say right now, in the next 3 seconds, if she were to go blind, she would still be Toni Braxton. She would still have her same Toni Braxton voice and her same Toni Braxton talent and still have her same Toni Braxton personality. Blindness changed none of that. Sure, it might change how she did certain things. She'll have to walk with a cane. She'll have to learn Braille. She'll have to learn how to use a computer with a screen reader and or Braille. But she's still gonna be Toni Braxton. And if Ray Charles would have got his sight back, or if Stevie Wonder were to gain sight after living his whole life being blind, he would still be Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles would still be Ray Charles. At the end of the day, it's just a physical anomaly. It makes nobody no different than anybody else. It makes nobody no better, no worse, no more or less inspirational than they already were. So these people, they're singers. So let's just, if we're going to be inspired by people like Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles, let's take their lyrics and do things with them. Let's be inspired by their lyrics, not by their sight or lack thereof.